constantly moving forward, and yet we can't resist looking back. You don't have to scroll through social media very long to encounter images of the past. Nostalgia is everywhere: music, movies, and more. So I thought we'd take a walk down memory lane for nostalgia's backstory. In whatever era people live, they are living at the forefront of technology. And yet, as I view my home movies and family album, it sometimes seems the good old days happened decades ago. Nostalgia is a powerful force that permeates every class and culture.
I think people look back and because it reminds them of a good time in their life or a moment in time that they want to mark, and nostalgia helps them do that.
We've covered it a lot on this show: roller skating, vinyl records, comic books, and baseball cards. It's been fun, but sometimes looking back can also be painful.
It's a loss mixed with desire.
For generations, we were lost in our own thoughts until social media sites like Super 70s Sports on X or Vintage Ads on Facebook gave us a forum to share our memories and push nostalgia into overdrive. In the Portuguese culture, they call it saudade. It's a common theme in their songs, but saudade is a concept that defies an easy definition. Anna Eberling and her guitarists play in clubs, and despite the beauty of their music, there's also a sense of sadness. Saudade may be best translated as melancholy or loss, perhaps for something that will never happen again.
That's the real underlying power of that nostalgia, is the way for a moment it does bring back the past, and then you know that it has to fade away again. You absolutely should read a book by Oliver Sacks.
Patrick Gonder teaches English and Humanities at Lake County Community College.
And that's the danger of it too, right? Is to create that trap of the past being, this place that you can't get back to, but you desire to do so much.
In 1688, a Swiss medical student named Johann Hofer thought this feeling was a disease inflicting soldiers who suffer sadness, even suicidal thoughts. This medical diagnosis of nostalgia persisted for 2 centuries, until the 20th century, when it started to be viewed as a psychological issue, more closely associated with depression or anxiety. While we may enjoy the mental time travel, there is a frustration that we can never truly go back.
There has to be that sense that there's something lost for nostalgia to work. It can't just be a reclamation of the past, it has to also involve that sense of loss.
That doesn't stop us from trying to go back. Nostalgia is often triggered by some negative change in our life, and it pushes towards sources of self-esteem. Pop culture helps by bringing the past to us.
Sunday, Monday, happy days.
The 1970s gave us the 1950s, Happy Days, and Grease. But Gonder says it's important to note this is a pretty narrow view, part of that polish and shine of looking back.
The way that people fantasize about, say, the 1950s completely ignores the horrific aspects of that era that people endured. The racial lynchings, the intense fear of nuclear destruction. Then we just like to repackage it as Happy Days, poodle skirts and bobby sockers, and then that's it.
At the movies, Godzilla and King Kong are back.
Can I be of any help?
Ghostbusters 2. Star Wars returns again and again, recycled in various forms. And perhaps that's a downside of nostalgia. using it as simply a marketing tool.
If Ghostbusters or Star Wars or Star Trek or any of these franchises, if they don't innovate and grow and change, they will die. Nostalgia can strangle artwork. It can strangle art to the point that it can't progress.
Music seems to unlock memories, and while an 80s song may bring me back to high school, Bruno Mars music, inspired by the 80s and 90s, makes an old sound new again for another generation, making their own memories. For Linda Frazier and her husband James, the memories flow through movement. Stepping is more than a dance, it's a culture.
The memories of when I met my husband. We were out dancing. That was over 40 years ago. So we wound up dancing together at a club, and we were together since then.
The fool I was until your love found me. So girl,
Together, they have taught the art of stepping that goes back decades.
Childhood memories of coming up in the neighborhood, watching my mom dance and a lot of older people before me dance, and just gravitating to it and just loving the spirit to dance.
girl, I'm truly, truly glad to know you. Maybe soon you wanna go. Oh.
From movement to marketing,
This is the old North Pancake House sign. This was from Rudy's Barbecue in Shawneetown, Illinois.
Nathan Lippy is like the Indiana Jones of neon.
This is from the Flashstrick Company here in Chicago.
Every inch of his garage in suburban Chicago tells a story.
So this is an example of a Mickey Mouse that was stolen by a theme park in Texas.
It's not as if his collection is a recollection of childhood. Many of the signs predate him.
Like, I love the memories that even for things that I didn't experience or the things they represent, I do think back of what if I was in that situation, or what happened under that sign when it was hanging 50 years ago. I do think about those things an awful lot. So this is a Ready Kilowatt sign from Florida. This is the early Ready Kilowatts. This is like 1940s.
Cause I'm ready, kilowatt.
And so a lot of people love him because they remember the commercials from his childhood.
The collection has outgrown the garage and now fills the barn out back.
So this is some of the overflow that doesn't fit.
In the corporate world, it's a reminder of America's roots and the culture of the mom and pop business.
Well, I think that's what also spurs people today to be entrepreneurs of their own, right? They have grown up in this world of corporate culture, and that idea of small and neighborhood and family is now exciting again.
It's a way of life that seems to be disappearing. But artifacts and pictures can transport you back in time.
I was fascinated by the motion, the sounds they made, all that stuff. This is the picnic train, that's right, loading his crowd at Austin Avenue.
Art Peterson's collection travels by rail and road as far back as the 19th century. He's a mechanical engineer who saved hundreds of thousands of images of trains and buses. They were going to be thrown away. Now they're all stored in his basement.
Why is it important to save images like this?
Because places change so much, and you look at photographs and you see aspects of everyday life people took for granted. It's gone. There's something lost in that relationship you used to have with the butcher or the grocer or that kind of thing.
This is not just a collection of model numbers or bus routes. Through pictures and artifacts, art captures a way of life. Many of them he did not experience himself.
Would put these out on the front door of the train. It would display either Wrigley Field like this or Comiskey Park, depending on where there was a ball game that day. Absolutely one of the things I'm fondest of all the stuff that's survived. I'm really glad this one has survived.
Perhaps being nostalgic about a time prior to our existence makes us appreciate what we have. It's about progress, and perhaps it inspires us to wonder what comes next, or it triggers ideas of what we can do right now. Stranger Things is a contemporary streaming series. It's set in the 1980s, but the story isn't some 80s reboot.
It evokes the 80s for me, certainly, but it's saying something about the 80s. It's moving through it, not just giving me fan service of, look, here's a D&D reference.
Evil's riding the amazing Star Cycle.
If you go on eBay, you can find your old toys, Evel Knievel, or a Cabbage Patch doll.
I have all my little nostalgic toys here.
Or perhaps like Professor Gonder, you've kept them all along.
I'm lucky that my mom kept some of my toys from when I was a kid, and when I hold them, talk about a time machine. And that takes you back.
But there's that tension again. Even when you visit your childhood street, it's never quite the same. You can never truly go back, but that pain of yearning is also a reminder of just how wonderful it was, which can bring comfort as we navigate the future, making new memories with the next generation.